everybody. So if anybody didn't miss my announcement there, if you could just make sure for practice you have a blanket pulled in for practice, just to have nearby. A pillow off your couch, pillow off your bed, anything like that. I want to make sure that you're comfortable for the restorative practice. Also make sure you have like some sort of sweater or socks that you might want to put on, because when we get into the restorative practice, we are really getting still and quiet on the ground, and I don't want you to be cold. I'm just going to give a brief introduction into the class, and then we'll move on to the mat for practice. So basically you're here because you've experienced some sort of anxiety to a point where it no longer serves you, right? You're here because you want to live in a more confident, authentic, and nurturing way, really ensuring that your needs are the primary focus. So the intention of this class is to help regulate the nervous system. We're going to practice various ways of stimulating the vagus nerve, which is a nerve that runs from the base of your brain all the way down to your sacrum. And when this nerve is stimulated, it helps activate the parasympathetic nervous system, which is that ventral state. I woke up with a tickly throat today, so I do have to drink my tea as we go here. All right. So we're going to be using different styles and techniques to help stimulate this vagus nerve and open up the body to receive that parasympathetic state. Tools and techniques like pranayama, which are breathing techniques, which I believe we did out breath with Michelle last week, where your exhale exceeds the inhale. Okay, that's just one kind of pranayama. We're going to explore. We're going to do guided meditation, and we're going to do movement, of course, the yoga part, right? And all of this is just going to help us open up the nervous system, moving away from that fight or flight state. And please, 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 while practicing, be compassionate with yourself, be open and be curious. I am likely going to present some stuff to you today that you probably have never done in a yoga class, unless you're well into Kundalini yoga. And it's challenging, but it's meant to be challenging on purpose. So that's where that compassionate part comes in, okay? And we'll explore a little bit more into the class. I'll explain a little bit more about that. So lastly, I want you to make sure that you are taking my cues as suggestions. Okay, so if something doesn't feel right for you in your body and I'm offering it to you, please don't do it. Everybody's body is different, and I also can't see you that well and get that feedback from you. So it's really about you tapping into that inner trust, that intuition, and knowing where your limits are. So this is not a competition, and it's just essentially meant to be a really nourishing practice for you. Okay? All right, let's jump onto the mat. Okay, so coming onto your mats, we are going to stand up to start. So this practice, we're going to start with a fiery hatha flow, where we're moving with the rate of our breath, and then we're going to get into an active meditation. Okay, this helps challenge you and put you into that fight or flight state. And lastly, we're going to wind our way down onto the mat and do the restorative practice, which helps open up your mind and be more receptive to the change work that's happening. Okay, here we go. So standing up tall in mountain pose. So rolling your shoulders up, back, and down. Palms usually face forward in mountain pose, and this just helps open up the heart. We're not leaning back, right? We want to be facing straight ahead, and then root your foundation into the ground. All four corners of your feet pushing into the ground, and spiral that energy up through the crown of your head. I invite you to close your eyes. Good. And I want you to imagine your breath entering in through your nose and traveling down to the depths of your belly. And then swelling your belly, swelling up through your heart center, and filling up, swelling into your head as well. Exhale, you can sigh it out really long, because sighing feels really good. And just continue that pranayama, that breathing. Inhaling through the nose, straight to your gut. Expanding, filling up with that vital life force prana. expanding through the heart and then up into the head space. Exhale long and smooth. Really try and force every ounce of air out on that exhale. Continue doing this at your own pace, sending the breath to the depths of your belly, nourishing, wrapping your organs up through your heart center and up in to your head. Two more cycles just like that. Beautiful. Last cycle. And then just steady the breath out. And when you're ready, gently open your eyes. We're just gonna slowly adjust to the light coming up. And then when you're ready, let's sweep the arms up overhead and grab a hold of the left wrist and take it over to the right. And as you do this beautiful side stretch body opening, we're gonna make sure that that left foot is rooted and planted into the ground, that you're not leaning into the right leg at all. Just opening up from the armpit to the ribs, all the way down to your hips. Should feel glorious. If it doesn't, adjust. Remember, my cues are suggestions. Good. Come back through center, grab a hold of the right wrist and take it over to the left. Rooting down that right foot, sending the energy down, lifting up through the body. Keep your chest and heart open to the sky. I love side stretching. Good. Slowly returning back down. And here we're going to take the feet a little wider than the hips and just plie the toes out a little bit, okay? Plie the toes to the outer corners of your mat. Take your hands to center, to prayer. Inhale, open up the arms to the sides. And then exhale, we're going to scoop and squat down. You don't have to come all the way down. You can just come halfway. Inhale, lift the heart. And then exhale, collapse forward and ragdoll up. So here you're letting the vertebrae stack one on top of the other all the way up. Back up to mountain. Inhale, extended mountain overhead. Exhale, bring it right back to center. That's called the flow. So we're moving with our breath. Let's practice it again. This time, option to come up onto the tippy toes as we open the arms out to the side. This will challenge your balance. Take what feels good for you today, okay? My cues are suggestions. Here we go. Inhale, open to the side. Tippy toes if you want. Exhale, lower those heels down, scoop and squat. Inhale, heart lift. Exhale, collapse forward. All the way up to standing. For your inhale to come arms overhead. And exhale, slowly bring it down to center. One more time. Inhale, arms to sides, tippy toes if you want. Exhale, scoop and squat. Inhale, heart lift. Exhale, ragdoll up, stacking vertebrae upon vertebrae, all the way to standing. And then arms overhead, right back down to prayer. Beautiful. Okay, let's bring the feet back under the hips, stacking them right underneath the heels, underneath the hips. And then I'll just show you from the side view. We're gonna inhale, raise the arms up overhead, and exhale, sit back into a chair pose, okay? So we're sitting back into a chair. Option to keep arms up. If this is too hard, please bring them down onto your hips. It's totally up to you. I'm just gonna admit somebody. All right, and then from chair pose, can you redistribute the weight into your feet, making sure all four corners of your feet are equally rooted into the ground? And then can you lift your heart up? Like you're sitting in a chair. We don't want to tuck the tail under though. Keep blossoming the bum. Love that cue. And then from here, we're gonna flow. So inhale, raise your arms up. Exhale, collapse forward. Reaching the arms all the way behind you, and then inhale right back up into your deep chair. I know this is fiery. Exhale, collapse forward once again. Reach the arms all the way behind you and up. Inhale, chair. So I'm meaning to create that fire in you. This is with intention. Keep flowing, keep breathing. Inhale up, last one. Exhale. Inhale all the way to standing. Extended mountain overhead. Exhale, bring it down to prayer. All right, are you feeling that energy, that prana start to swell throughout the body? That's my intention. Okay, and if you're not, then hopefully you will on this next flow. So come up to the top of your mat. I'm just gonna show you from the side view. You can take your hands to your hips. And we're gonna take a giant step back with the right leg. Okay, so plant your back heel down and point your back toe to the front right corner of your mat. Inhale, we're gonna bring the arms up overhead, and exhale, bend into the front knee so that the front knee is stacked right over top of the heel. Okay, here we go. So warrior one, hug your legs towards each other. Option to stay here if this serves you and you're just wanting to kind of catch your breath, you can just stay here in warrior one. Otherwise, we're gonna lean forward, creating one long line from the fingers all the way down to the back heel. You see that big long line? And then bringing the arms down, bending the elbows, kind of like a pec deck, right? And then we're gonna start to flow. So inhale, open the arms, squeeze your shoulder blades towards each other. Exhale, big out breath. Remember where the exhale exceeds the inhale. Inhale, quick squeeze. Exhale. As you inhale and open up the arms, really squeeze your shoulders like they're kissing your spine and just keep flowing. This is your flow. Okay, keep hugging your legs towards each other. This will help activate your core. This is good. Inhale, open. Exhale, collapse. Inhale, exhale, force out that air. Keep going. 3 more. If you got it in ya. Last one. And slowly rise up. Take your hands to hips and pivot on your heels to face the side of your mat. Okay, so facing the side of your mat, can you plie the toes out to the side of your mat? And then make sure you have this nice little lower lumbar curve in your spine as you come into a squat. So I see this a lot where the tail gets tucked under as we come down into squat. So just make sure the bum is blossomed here, okay? So this is goddess legs here. Good. All right, and then we're gonna bring the arms out to the sides and palms facing each other. So plug the shoulders into their sockets, plug the hips into their sockets, and here finding goddess. If you want to, you can stay here, or if you want to flow with me, we're gonna inhale, straighten the legs, reach up overhead, bring the hands together. Exhale, maybe coming a little deeper in goddess. Inhale, exhale. Just go at your own pace. This is your practice, right? You don't have to follow my rhythm of breathing. In fact, I'd rather you follow your own. That's how we tap into that intuition. And if you're feeling like the energy is getting spent, you're getting tired, that fire is really burning, use your breath, send the energy there. 3 more. Good. And let's meet back up in goddess when you're done. and then taking your hands to your hips, straighten your legs. We are gonna pivot to face the back of your mat, and if you can't see the screen, that's okay, because we're gonna do the exact same warrior one flow that we did on the other side. So pivot to face the back of your mat now, and this time, your back left toe is facing the front left corner of your mat. Inhale, sweep your arms up overhead, and exhale, bend into your front knee. So here, we're just sitting in warrior one. Again, if you can't see the screen, that's okay. You can listen to my words. Stay in warrior one if this serves you. Otherwise, we're gonna lean forward for super warrior, like you're flying, making one long line from your left fingers all the way down to your left heel. Okay, breathe. Okay, bending to elbows, kind of like goddess arms, and then bringing the hands towards each other. Inhale swiftly, squeeze the shoulder blades together as you open up the arms. Exhale, out breath. Inhale, exhale. Keep going at your own pace. So we're building up this fire to turn the heat on in the body, helping to open up the body for the change work that's coming, right? 3 more. You got this. If you're feeling little muscles twinging in your legs or arms, that's actually a good thing. That just means you're working new muscles, right? Good. I think that was 3. I'm really bad at counting when I say 3 more. Come back up to the top, hands to hips, straighten your front leg, and pivot on your heels to face the front of your mat and hop it up. Shake it out, find mountain pose once again. Give it a little shake first. That was fiery. Okay, so that was our Hatha flow. We're gonna now move into our active meditation. This is juicy. I teach this to pregnant people all over the world to help them prepare for their birth. And it is the #1 thing that people have told me has helped them manage through, well, one of the biggest challenges of their life physically, right? So it's meant to put you up against that fight or flight response, right? That sympathetic state. Okay, so it's purposely meant to do that. And then I want to give you tools to help you manage through it. And so what it looks like is physically, we're gonna challenge you in the shoulders, okay? We're only gonna do 3 minutes today, but in the program, we're gonna work our way up higher and higher to 7 and potentially 11 minutes, because this is really where we can open up our mind, our heart, and our body to help create that surrender that is required for this active meditation. So when I say you must let go, what I mean is if you resist against it and you're like, oh, this is so hard, you know, you're scrunching your face, you're clenching your teeth, the negative thoughts are coming in, potentially about me or the practice, and that's okay if it is, but that's resisting against it. It will be harder to achieve the challenge, okay? But if you can surrender to it, so really let go, know that it's going to be a challenge, but know that there is an end. And instead of resisting, use the pranayama, use that out breathing I'm going to offer you. Well, it's just very rewarding in the end. It helps you to build that confidence and that self-trust within yourself that you can do this. That said, if you don't do it all today, that is okay too. The intention is not to get through it all today. It is hard. And that's why in the series, in the course, we're going to build up to it, okay? So be compassionate with yourself. Remember I said at the beginning of class that really goes here. So what it looks like is this. We're just going to be standing in whatever mountain stance you want, standing up nice and tall. And then we're going to bring the arms out in front and not really bringing the palms together, but just arms straight out in front. And then just like we did in our super warrior, we're going to open up the arms as wide as you can, like you're giving a big bear a hug, right? And then bringing them back together again without touching. Okay? We're going to inhale and then exhale. And we're going to do this for 3 minutes. So you can imagine the shoulders are going to start to feel some fire pretty soon. setting that expectation with you now. So let's start by warming up the hands first and just creating a little friction, like really push the hands together to feel that warmth, that fire starting to brew in between. Okay. Good. All right. And here, bringing the arms out in front of you, just hold. Like, can you feel like there's a ball in between your hands, like a little bit of vibration happening? It's kind of cool, right? Good. If you want to, you can close your eyes, and we're going to inhale really deep, opening up the arms, and then exhale, out breath. And just keep going at your own pace, but feed your muscles your oxygen. I'm setting the timer. I've got my eye on the clock, so I won't leave you here for too long. We're doing 3 minutes. You've got this. Very quickly, your body is going to start to move into that sympathetic state, that fight or flight, like, oh, I don't know if I like this, let's quit, right? And if you need to, of course, honor your body, put your arms down. Or let's resist and scrunch up our face and scrunch up other areas of our body, right? That's the fight or flight. And instead of moving there, I want you to surrender. Make your movements faster. Increase the breath, feeding your muscles your oxygen. And this is how we let go. This is how we find that self-trust, that reward, that intuitive self. Good. Keep going. This is not easy work. Change work is not easy. And we're opening up the body to receive it. We're almost there. I'm with you. If your eyes are closed, feel free to roll them into the back of your forehead, focusing on your third eye center. This is that place of all-knowingness, right in between the eyebrows. And this is another tool that you can use to really help you focus inward. So we're going deep in the body now, right? You got this. All of us have these beautiful creatures, these intuitive beings within us that are so powerful. And sometimes we just need to uncover them and move back all those layers, peeling back those layers of our history and trauma, and coming into that raw, authentic version of ourself. 1 more minute. I've got my eye on the clock. Come on, you can do anything for a minute, right? I'm with you. I'm feeling the intensity. And I'm trying to see that as a glorious feeling, not one of pain and suffering, rather one of power. Force that breath in and out. Feed your muscles. Feed your spirit. You've got this. We're almost there. Keep those arms up. This is called a keep up pose. It's a challenge, right? Yeah. Imagine doing this for 11 minutes. Imagine completing this for 11 minutes, how you would feel afterwards. Pure elation. Good. Almost there. 10 more seconds. And release down. Let's roll the shoulders out. Oh my goodness, very slowly. Roll them back, roll them forward. Oh my goodness, I haven't done that in a long time. It's super intense, and that was 3 minutes. Okay. When you're ready, take a little stroll to the back of your yoga mat. I'm already there. And then do a little genie squat to get down, reaching for the floor. And we're gonna come into tabletop. So I'm just gonna show you from a little bit of the side view so you can see me. Tabletop is essentially just stacking your joints, shoulders over wrists, and hips over knees. If your wrists give you troubles, please just come up onto fists or down onto forearms, okay? So options here for you. And if you need to support your knees, pull in that blanket that I offered you at the beginning of class and place it underneath your joints. All right, so here we're just gonna start to move into some big circles with the hips rolling in one direction. Just move the hips. I do invite you here to close your eyes. When you close your eyes, you block that distraction around you. Maybe you're seeing dust bunnies. Maybe there's other people around. And so just close your eyes and go inward. That's what we're attempting to do here. Remember I said in the emails, we're going to be audible. We're going to get a little noisy. So this next pranayama exercise, keep rolling as I'm talking, helps you to activate that vagus nerve. Remember I said that's the nerve that helps activate or stimulate the parasympathetic nervous system. That one that's that rest and digest state, that's the one we want to achieve, right? And when we do this pranayama exercise, this breathing exercise, it helps to stimulate that nerve, but it's noisy. Now you can do it quietly if you want to. It's not going to be as effective though. So I'm just letting you know that. If you really can just let it go and own this sound within you, it really will be that much more effective in stimulating. Okay, let's move in the opposite directions and let's explore the VU sound. So with your eyes closed, rolling the hips in the opposite direction, I want you to take a big sniff in through your nose and a big long VU out of your mouth. Really vibrating the back of your throat. And inhale again, just keep going. On these last 3 cycles, really force that VU out with all of your might, as loud as you can. Good. Coming back in through center. Awesome. And then we're slowly going to make our way, oh, don't kick the dog, slowly going to make our way down onto the belly. Okay, so making your way down, bringing your arms in front. And then just so you know, I won't be in the restorative poses the whole time because you won't be able to hear me. So I'll get into them and then kind of pop out of them, okay? So bring your forehead down to meet your hands in front. Good. And then I want you to just roll the hips, rolling the belly back and forth. And here what we're doing is massaging the visceral body, which feels so glorious, okay? Roll the hips back and forth. So as you're massaging here, I'm just going to quickly explain a little bit about this practice. This is a totally different style of practice, restorative yoga. We're going to be holding poses for about a minute, approximately a minute each, and then taking about approximately 30 seconds in between to help notice the change, okay? And that's called the rebound. So when I say we're moving into the rebound, you're going to lie still and just notice any energetic shifts or changes that occurred after the pose. And this is where the magic happens. This is where you hear those whispers of wisdom from that intuitive being within you. Good, okay. So here, let's move into our first pose. Can you raise your head up and can you lay your left cheek on your hands? Lay your left cheek on your hands. And then we're gonna move the right knee out to the right. So this is called half frog. Moving that right knee out to the right, you can flex the right foot. Keep your left leg long. Keep resting your head down on your hands. Yeah, okay, and if you need to comfort that knee joint, please pull in the blanket underneath. If you're on a hard floor, I'm on a soft carpet, so of course it feels good. These restorative poses are meant to be nourishing. Okay, so again, I'm going to be popping in and out of the poses. so that I can better talk you through this journey. And I invite you to keep your eyes closed for as much of this journey as you can. When we keep our eyes closed, our focus can go inward. So sometimes with long holds in stillness, certain emotions can come up of annoyance, frustration, because our lives are so go, 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 right? We need to be moving to be effective and efficient beings. And we are trying to just replace that idea in this practice. So if it comes up, that's okay. I invite you to just get curious about them rather than kind of attaching yourself to that uncomfortable thought that's arisen and then going down the rabbit hole. All right, so I'm going to guide you through some nourishing meditations. This practice is really meant to help you open up your three brains. Okay, the three brains. So I love this idea of something called the three brains. So you have brain in your gut, okay, in your belly. This is your place of intuition. This is your uninhibited first response, go-to kind of brain, right? And then you have your heart brain. And this is your emotional side. This is where all the feelings come up, right? And then, of course, you have the brain in your head, right? This is the logical, critical thinking, looking for evidence, looking for rational thought. This is that brain, okay? All of them are necessary to have within us, and we want to balance them out. I definitely live in my head brain, and those who experience anxiety, that's usually where we exist, right? We're thinking all the time. That monkey chatter will not turn off. And so what we need to do is balance and be able to listen to the messages that are coming in from both the heart and the gut as well. I have a 9-year-old son who is all gut brain. He does not think first, right? I have a 6-year-old daughter who is all heart, just big emotions. And all of them are good and necessary. Like I said, we just need to balance them out. Okay, so let's explore that. Let's listen to all three. So first, we're going to get you out and into a new pose. So from where you are in half frog, I want you to slowly start to lift up and then take your left arm and thread it underneath the right and open up the right arm towards the right, coming into a beautiful twist. And your knee does not have to stay on the ground. If your right knee wants to come up so it allows your right arm to rest on the ground, making your arms wide like a T, please do so. And this is also where your props can come in handy. You can pull them in under your knee or pull them in under your elbow, your arms, wherever you need to help fill space. And then adjust the height of your knee if you want it low, if you want to bring it up. You know, this is your practice, so really checking in with that gut brain, your intuition, to figure out what feels good for you. Close your eyes. So what we're attempting to do with this practice is really push aside the shoulds. Well, those shoulds, they really come from a preconditioning. From our past and from society, what these pressures that we think we should be doing, we should be feeling, we should be acting, right? And so we're really just trying to break that bad habit of listening to the shoulds. Okay, so let's think of an example here where you have a challenge, maybe a challenge coming up in your life. Something that keeps you up at night, right? Or it could be a big decision that you have to make. Like maybe you're thinking about taking a new job, right? Making a career switch. Maybe you're thinking about going back to school. Like whatever big decision maybe is keeping you up at night. I want you to just bring the first idea that pops into your head. I want you to just bring it inward. Just hold it there. And if you can't think of anything off the top of your head, this is okay too. You are getting the replay of this video, so you can do this again in the future. All right, take a big deep breath. Big sigh out. And I want you to go deep into your gut brain now. With that big decision or challenge still looming over you, I want you to notice what answers arrive there in your gut. What answers are coming up? So remember, this is your place of intuition. What is the first response? What is that uninhibited, just go to? What are any messages coming up for you? And maybe nothing, and that's okay too. The first time I did this, there was just nothing, and it was super frustrating because I was like, oh, I'm not being efficient. So be compassionate instead. And really attempt to get curious, and you'll hear us say that a lot. Get curious about what does come up. Like maybe if it is thinking about taking a new job, the first response that came out for you is, you know what, I want to quit my job altogether and I want to homestead. Like I want to run a farm. And you're like, whoa, where did that come from? Don't block that. Go with it. Get curious about it. Okay? Be open, be compassionate with yourself here. Sometimes going inward, it can be a little scary. It is really hard. So if you're finding this a challenge, I get it. Be compassionate with yourself. This isn't the first time you'll do this. We're going to do it again and again and again. Keep your breath moving. Good. And very slowly, we're going to start to roll back onto the belly like you're moving through molasses. Move very slowly with intention. We don't need that fast-paced energy here, not now. Coming back to your belly, rest your forehead back down onto your hands. And if you want to, you can roll that massage in the belly again if that felt good the first time. Coming back through stillness, let's take a moment in your rebound here. So remember, the rebound is where you're noticing any energetic or physical shifts or changes that have taken place in the body after that pose, after that practice. Okay, and now we're going to raise the head up and lower the right cheek onto your hands and draw the left knee out to the left for half frog on the opposite side. Okay, so bringing the left knee up. Good, okay. So continuing on with this meditation, going inward. You're not alone here. I know it's scary and hard, but you have the support to delve deep. So let's go deeper. Take a big deep breath in. Big long sigh out. Bringing that challenge or big decision back into your mind. Holding it there, I want you to move into your heart brain. And so remember, this is your place of emotions and feeling. I want you to notice what energy, What feelings arise when you think of this challenge? Please welcome not just the positive, but also the emotions that might make you feel uncomfortable as well. And then get curious. How do you feel about this challenge? About a possible outcome of this challenge? How does it feel initially? Does it feel exciting but scary? Heart has a lot of emotions, and we need to listen to them as they come up. And our society has trained us to block out any emotions that create discomfort. So sometimes those are the ones we should really try to listen to first. Asking yourself, why is this coming up for me? If it's anger, why? Instead of placing judgment on yourself, just get curious, as if you're a spectator or an observer to these thoughts and emotions coming up, because you are not your thoughts and emotions. You are separate from them. They just arise, they ebb and flow, they come and go, right? Slowly start to rise up. And we're going to take that right arm this time and thread it underneath the left, opening the left arm out to the side, wide like a T. And here's your reclined twist. Help fill space with props under the knees if you want to. Twists are generally very nourishing as they help to detoxify the system, wringing out the body like a dirty sponge, wringing it out. Let's go deeper now. I'm taking a big breath in. Big long sigh out. And bringing that challenge or decision back into your mind's eye, holding it there. And here, let's go into the head brain. Okay, this might be a very familiar place for you. Here we are looking at that decision or challenge with a rational, logical thought. We're looking at it through a critical thinking lens, trying to uncover evidence, right? Beautiful. And then from here, very slowly, like you're moving through a big pot of honey, rolling onto your back. So you can just adjust yourself on your space. Come onto your back. There is no rush. Get comfortable placing any pillows or props under your head if you want to. And then we're just going to take a moment here, extend the legs long. Take a moment in your rebound, which again is the place where the magic happens, the quiet in between the poses. And so just listen. Beautiful. All right, our last posture, we're going to bend the knees and bring the feet together to touch, allowing the knees to splay open in recline bound angle. If you want to help fill space, putting props or pillows underneath the sides of your legs, please do so. Sometimes people use their fists to just create the support that your body needs to feel nourished here. So as we moved through the 3-brain meditation, if absolutely nothing came up for you, know that that is very typical. The brains are muscles, and just like when you work out a muscle, it takes time to gain strength. So be compassionate with yourself. This is the start of a journey for you. Move away from those shoulds, that you should have been feeling this, or you should have been more effective or more efficient in your practice. Let's just end with the simple pranayama that we did at the beginning of class. If you would like to lay your legs out long for a shavasana, you can. Lay your arms out by your sides. With your eyes closed, take a big sniff into your gut brain, to your belly, expanding up through to your heart brain, through your chest, and expand all the way up through to your head brain, to the top of your skull. Exhale, sigh it out long. Continue that cycle, inhaling to the gut, all the way up through to the heart and head, and exhale, sigh it out long. You are nourishing the 3 brains with this breath, creating healing and revitalizing. We're starting to move away from those bad habits, that monkey chatter brain, listening to the shoulds, negative self-talk, defeat and judgment. They're all just habits, and we can break them. Even though for some of us they've been happening since childhood, we can break them, breaking that cycle. Okay, when you're ready, you can slowly roll on to your side, and from there you can keep your eyes closed and continue to ragdoll up into your tall seat, moving like you're underwater. So very slowly, very nourishing. Coming up to your seat, Thank you so much, everybody, for sharing practice with me today. The light in me honors and bows to the light in you. Namaste. Okay, so just take your time where you are. Just going to close our class here. Taking my sip of tea. I hope that felt great for you all. And again, if you noticed any resistance coming up, it's very typical, especially if this is the beginning of your change work. And that is actually why we're offering another free masterclass next week with Michelle. And that one will be all about roadblocks and resistance. And so it's going to be awesome. If you want the link, I'm going to copy and paste it into the chat. If you want the link to sign up, shoop. Here we go. There's the link to sign up for the next free masterclass. And if you don't get it today, of course, just email me and I'll send it to you again. You will also be receiving an email in 6 minutes, hopefully here, in your inbox with all of these links as well. And yeah, so for those of you who don't know me, I didn't want to spend the time at the beginning going into this, but I'll just quickly talk a little bit about my journey here. So I have been teaching yoga for well over a decade now, but I also suffer from anxiety and chronic worrying. Like, even though I teach the tools about how to quiet the mind, and I've been doing this and I'm very comfortable with this for a long time, I was really missing something in my change work, something that helped me to make the change stick, right? And that's when I met Michelle. And so she helped me to understand that all of this anxious behavior that I was experiencing, and then all the symptoms from that, like insomnia, etc., were just bad habits. And it really helped validate what I was feeling. It helped made me realize that I wasn't crazy, which on the outside I know I looked crazy sometimes, right? I wasn't crazy, and that I really was deserving of a better daily life. Like, I deserved that. So it's through that journey that we connected, where I'm here now teaching the embodiment, which just means getting into the body and opening up, to help teach that change work, which will complement her teachings and guidance through education, through her courses. And as you know, so this masterclass today is just a preview of what our larger course is going to look like. So that's an 8-week course coming up March 1st, it starts. And it's called Restore Self-Trust and Quiet Anxiety. And so it's called Restore Self-Trust. And I just thought this was so cool, because I was listening to a guided meditation last night in bed before I went to bed, and this was it. I wrote it down because I was like, this is it. Like, it's all connecting. To begin to soften, we must disarm. Okay? To disarm, we must let go. Remember, I said in the act of meditation, you have to let go. You have to surrender to the challenge we were feeling. To let go, we must trust ourselves. Isn't that so cool? I don't know. I just think that just gave me goosebumps. I was like, yes, that is exactly our mission on this journey, is to help you to let go, to help you to disarm, and essentially come into that confidence to trust yourself again. And I'm on this journey with you too. This course actually works out to $32 per class. We priced it out. We were like, it's actually $32 per class, which is phenomenal price. We're just really trying to make it accessible for everybody. And then the price does go up after the first 10 people come in the door. So just so you're aware of that as well. I am going to post the link to that 8-week course. I just posted it in the chat. And again, you'll get it in the email after this class. So no rush on that. Lastly, you will get the replay of this. I'm going to edit the video and, take out the cats who were trying to break in earlier. I don't know if you heard that, and put some music on it and make it nice so that you can come back to this practice should you want to in the future. So you will receive a separate email with the replay of today's class. Okay. I'll just open it up to anybody if you want to unmute or unmic yourself or post something in the chat, please do. We have 1 more minute left, but I'm happy to stay. And if you would just want to share your experience, or if you have to go, you can go too. So lovely to see you all. Oh my God. Okay. Awesome.
Lovely, Selena. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Andrea. How did it feel for you?
Good.
Good.
For everyone, I'm 2.5 weeks postpartum.
Yeah.
So it's a little hard lying on my front, but other than that,
I'm like, massage the belly, and you're like, nope.
no,
Not happening.
But everything else is lovely.
Okay,
It's good
great.
to get back into my body.
Oh, after 2 weeks postpartum. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Awesome. Thank you. Okay, lovelies. Well, I will hope to see you next week in the masterclass with Michelle. And if not, hopefully soon. Thank you so much for joining. Have a lovely day.
Bye. Thanks,
Bye.
Selena.
Bye, Heather. Bye, Cleo.